Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back to NTV Exclusive. I'm your host, Abul Hasnath. We have been talking about Victory Day, Joy Bangla. I have been joined by a very honorable guest, Barrister Anis Rahman, OBE, who is a lawyer, a historian, and what I'm going to spend this segment talking about is him as a freedom fighter and the influence of British Bangladeshis and the aid that British Bangladeshis gave towards Victory Day, towards Bangladesh, and ultimately reaching the Victory Day in Bangladesh. And it's for those of you that are not aware of what happened back in 1971. But before I do all of that, I have opened up the telephone lines, a number across the bottom. We're looking for those of you that have experienced first-hand of what happened in Bangladesh. And I already have a caller. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to go straight to the telephone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Caller on line 1. Can you hear me? Wa alaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum, Shafiqur Rahman. What would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I have a few questions with the host. Hello, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, go ahead. Do you have a question for Barrister Anis Rahman?
Yeah, first thing, as the host said, that Quaid-e-Azam came to Dhaka in 1951, while he died in 1948. Second question is, he announced in Dhaka that Urdu will be official language, while if we see in West Pakistan, still English is the official language there. Urdu was never the official language.
Yes.
English is always the language. Third thing, we don't see any freedom movement before 1971 election. Unfortunately, Mujibur Rahman born in Bangladesh and unfortunately Bhutto born in Pakistan. So it was segregation. Because of, and second thing, the host claimed that East Pakistan was occupied by the West Pakistanis people. While in fact West Pakistan was occupied by army as well for a long time, just after the death of Quaid-e-Azam. And third thing,
generally, we've got so much to look at in this. We have a video that we're going to go through now. Just to give everyone a breakdown of this video. This video was taken by ITN News, yes, a British news corporation that went over to Bangladesh, and they eventually on the 16th of December saw the they actually, even before the 16th of December, they went, and you'll see it in this documentary, they showed some of the brutal behavior towards the Bangladeshi. Then they showed the signing over and the surrender of the Pakistani men. We're going to talk about the freedom fighting. So we're going to go straight into this video now. This is a few minutes video clip. It was taken in 1971, and it's only the British that did this for us, and we're going to talk about the British influence. So let's roll the video, and everyone have a look at this video from 1971.
There was a striking and unhappy illustration of the way that Bengalis are taking their revenge at a meeting held at Dhaka's stadium to honour the heroes of the Mukti Bahini. Abdul Qadir Siddiqui, once an ordinary soldier in the East Bengal Regiment, raised and led 12,000 guerrilla fighters in a large area surrounding Dhaka. In his speech, the hero of Tangail, as he's known, vowed that his men would not lay down their arms until Sheikh Mujibur Rahman came safely back from his prison in West Pakistan. But he appealed to his men, who stood with rifles and machine guns policing the meeting, not to take revenge on those who had oppressed them, and not to flaunt their arms in the streets. As he spoke, 5 men, said to have been caught looting and abducting some women, were brought to the back of the rostrum. They were bound and beaten by Siddiqui's men. They clung desperately to an officer whom he had asked to put a stop to the violence. But the violence didn't stop, and along with other television crews, the ITN team left the scene. Moments later, General Siddiqui himself, who had earlier urged restraint on the crowd and promised the prisoners a fair trial, himself took a rifle and helped bayonet them to death, firing a bullet to finish off one man. It's not surprising that the 24,000 Pakistani prisoners of war now in Dhaka's cantonment should fear the Bengalis' vengeance. That's why, until now, they've been allowed to keep their weapons. The Indian Army was not certain it could protect them. But at last, at a formal ceremony, the officers of Pakistan's Army, Navy and Air Force laid down their arms. It was a somewhat theatrical event. General Gandhav Nagra assured the officers that they would be treated with the utmost correctness according to the Geneva Convention.
We shall provide all protection and safety. No measures of reprisals would be taken. Free boarding, messing, medical facilities will be provided to you all and all your rank.
Then, on the command of their own senior officer present, General Mohammed Jamshed, the leaders of Pakistan's defeated army laid their pistols, Sten guns and rifles on the grass in the final token of surrender. I asked the Pakistani Chief of Staff, Brigadier Baghir Siddiqui, what he'd felt about the ceremony.
Well, it's all right. Part of the game, I suppose.
It didn't cause you any qualms?
Well, you know, you can understand our feelings. But as the General said, this does happen, and so people have to play the game, and I think it's a part of the game. We have to accept it in good grace.
Why did you, in the end, surrender?
Because for the consideration of the human lives.
Could you have fought on?
We could have fought on for a long time, not less than 30 days.
With due military ritual, the war in the East had been brought to its ceremonial conclusion.
At 4 p.m. on the 16th of December 1971, Lieutenant General A.A.K. Niazi signed the instrument of surrender and placed himself and his troops under the command of Lieutenant General J.S. Arora, GOC-in-C Eastern Command, who also held command of the Bangladesh forces. At the Dhaka golf course, the Dhaka garrison formally laid down their arms before Lieutenant General Sagat Singh, GOC 4 Corps.
I hope that's given you a better understanding of what actually happened live back then, and what a very positive note to finish up with on that video, where it came to the victory celebration, victory parade. But you know, don't let that dampen what previously happened in the 9 months and the atrocity on 3 million people. We need to go for another break. We've got so much more to discuss. I'm probably going to have to turn off the telephone line so we can go through, because I want to make as much as I can use of our historian and lawyer with us. So don't go away. When we come back in the third segment, we're going to talk about the British-Bangladeshi influence of 1971, 16th of December. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.